Alright, so today I just wanted to make this quick video going over how to remotely access your Android device from Linux to do things like copying files. So this is pretty straightforward to do, pretty simple, not too hard, and yeah, let's just get into it. Alright, so before we can get into remotely accessing our Android device, we're going to have to install some things on our Linux computer and then an app on our Android device to allow this to work. Alright, so on your Linux device, you're going to have to install OpenSSH. Now, I have this text document here that will just show you the different things you have to run depending on your distro. Alright, now if you notice in both Arch and OpenSUSE, it's in one package. Alright, OpenSSH is in one package. You don't have to worry about installing them both. Installing both of these just ensures that you can both send and receive files. So it's a good idea to install them both, and then in every distro other than Debian and Ubuntu, you're going to have to manually start up SSHD. And then this is just a check to make sure it's all good. So I'll do this on my distro right now, which is Manjaro, so it's running on Arch. So I'll just type sudo pacman -s open SSH. Oh shoot, I misspelled Pacman. Alright, so it'll go through and just hit yes. I already have it installed, so I'm going to say no. And then once you do that, you just got to make sure you enable it and then start it. And you're going to need to start it every single time you want to use it. So just type sudo system control or systemctl and then enable SSHD. Alright, that will enable it. And if we go sudo system control start SSHD, it will go ahead and start it. And then we'll perform just the check to make sure everything's all good. And we'll just say sudo systemctl status SSHD. Alright. And it should say active and running. Alright. If it doesn't, you're going to need to manually start it, but it should start. If you did all of this right, it should start. You shouldn't have to manually start it. So now we'll move on to the Android app. Alright, so here I am in my Android device, which is just a Samsung Galaxy S9, and we're just going to have to install the app. You'll see it down here, SSH helper or SS helper, whichever. So just go into the Play Store and just search it up. You should be able to find it pretty easily. Install it, and then open it. Now, you'll notice up here it'll say SS helper is available. It's monitoring, and you're going to need to reference the server address and the port number in order to do this. So I wouldn't recommend messing around with any of these settings. And yeah, so just leave this open. You're going to need to reference it when we go back onto the computer. So let's go back. Alright, so now that we've got everything all set up, we are ready to actually access our Android device from Linux. So we're just going to open up a terminal real quick, and we're going to use the SSH command that we installed earlier. SSH, and then flag the port, and then put in the port that's listed on the app under SSH server port number. The default's 2222, and the reason why it's not 22 by default is because 22 is a rooted only port, so it means that the devices have to be rooted in order to be access it. So if your Android phone isn't rooted, you can't change the port to 22, to just 22. So I'd recommend just leaving it the default. It works fine. But if your device is rooted, I believe you can change it to 22, so you won't have to flag the port. But yeah, just flag the port, and then type in the server address. This is just your IP. All right, it'll list it on the app under server address, and then just hit enter. And when you're doing it for the first time, there'll be a little pop-up that says yes or no. Type yes, and then you have to put in the password. I haven't changed it, so it's just admin. If you did change it, obviously put in the one that you changed it to. So now we're into our phone. As you can see, we have all of our files here. So we're in. That's that part of it done. So now let's get into transferring files. So I'm just going to open up two terminals over here. One is going to be for my machine over. This one's from my machine, and this one is for my Android device, my phone. So I'm going to start by transferring a text file from this over to here. So I'm going to start by just going into the directory that my file's in. I find it way easier to do this. So just going into test, that's where my file is, test.txt. So I'm going to be transferring that over using the scp command. Now for the scp command, you're going to need to flag the port again, but this time with a capital P, not like SSH with a lowercase p. If you do it with a lowercase p, it won't work. So flag the port as 2222, and then the file name, which is test.txt, and then the address, and then we're going to need to specify where we want it to go. So if we come over here and we just go into our SD card, I'll put it into test because that's what I made the directory for. I'll just list it, show there's nothing in there. But there is a bit of a problem because we can't just copy this. This won't work if you copy this and paste it over here. So we're gonna have to go into the actual directories of our phone by typing storage cd/storage/emulated/0. This is the root folder or the bottom level folder for most Android devices. It's going to be that. Yours might be different. It's not too hard to figure out. You can go into a file manager and figure it out by just looking at where all your files are, and most of them will have this at the very beginning of them. So now that we're in here, we can go back into test, and there's still nothing in here, but this time when we print the working directory, it will actually give us the right directory. This is the actual directory in my phone that this folder is located. So Control-Shift-C, come over here, Control-Shift-V, it'll paste it, and then we just hit enter. If it's your first time, type in yes, type in the password, and it will transfer the file. So now if I type ls, test.txt is there. So, and just to show you that it will actually, hang on. Can I go back this far? No, I don't think I can. But so yeah, if we go back to this directory, the one that we were in before, or hang on, see, go back into this directory, and we go to cd, paste this. It will take us to the old one we were in, and it will update over here as well. So it's there. The main reason I swapped over to this was just for it's a lot easier just to copy that than to type it all out, especially if it's a really long directory. So now that it's over here, it's basically the same process to transfer a file from here back over to here. So I'm going to remove test.txt from over here. As you can see, it's gone. So I'm just going to clear out all of here. Now we're going to transfer the file from my phone over to my computer. So I'm just going to type out ls, show you text file is there. And that there's obviously nothing over here because I just deleted it. So now we're going to do the same exact thing. SCP. Now, I don't think we're going to have to specify the port, since, yeah, we're not going to have to specify the port since 22 is open on this computer. So, we're just going to type SCP, the file, test.txt, my computer, Clayton at, now, hold on real fast. Alright, never mind, I remember it. 167 slash home Clayton test. Type in my password. If it's your first time, it'll prompt you, hit say yes, and it will transfer it over. Simple as that. Boom, it's back. And that's pretty much it. There's some other cool things you can do with this, but this is definitely the thing that I use it for the most. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's basically the same process as transferring files between two Linux machines. So that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.